it's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. We're in the TMC newsroom. Today on our program, we've got Clark Peterson, who's with Telesphere, and we are at Interop 2010 in Las Vegas. Clark, thank you for being on the program.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Rich.
Appreciate it. Could you tell me a little bit about your company, please?
I can. Telesphere is a company. We're a communications as a service provider. Been around about 10 years. The company was one of the early companies into hosted IP and hosted voice over IP, and now has really evolved into one of the leading companies in the forefront of the whole communications as a service and taking communications to the cloud.
Now you have quite a pedigree in terms of just some of the things you've done in your past. Would you mind just going over your, I guess, your brief resume on video?
Sure. Yeah. No, that's fine. It's I've evolved over the years from both the wireless side really to the wireline and back to the wireless, and now to I think what's a really interesting hybrid in the cloud here. But started off in the original Cellular One days with Macau Cellular, and part of it I thought a great group building out what was the first nationwide cellular network, and then after Cellular One sold to AT&T Wireless, we all wanted to figure out what to do besides work at AT&T, and half of us went to Nextel to get that going, the other half went to Nextlink and learn the landline side. I went to Nextlink, which later became XO Communications, and then went from there to was asked to be the first official employee of Clearwire, which is bringing WiMAX to the nation right now, and was president there at Clearwire and launched all the original markets. And then a lot of the same people I've worked with both on the management side and investment side at all of those companies are now involved with Telesphere, and very excited about what's happening with bringing communications to the cloud.
So how does that experience help you in bringing communications to the cloud and helping customers?
I think the power of having being a hosted provider and really having everything out of the cloud is that it's the unification of all these different services. So from the cloud, I look at an end device as much of a Cisco or Polycom phone as my end device. I look at that cell phone as my end device, or that PC through a soft phone as my end device. So all my experience really on the wireless and wireline side, and even had a stint on the cable side, I think helps in that the hosted is so powerful when you can unify all these different end devices and all these different services into a unified a platform and one single service for the customer.
And how long has the company been around now?
Telesphere has been around 10 years. It has been in the hosted kind of cloud type services for about 5 years.
And have you seen any changes over the last couple of years with the economic environment?
There's certainly been a lot of changes in it. We have 6 markets right now where we have offices and GMs and feet on the street, and some of those offices are Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, some of the hardest hit economically. But we've grown over 80% a year every single year here since I've been involved, and it's hosted really harnesses the power of giving people all these productivity tools, all these unified communication tools, but without that investment in PBX hardware and handsets on your desk, and allows really that mid-market customer to look like a Fortune 500 company without all the capital outlay.
Now, are there any concerns that customers have about going into the cloud with communications that they really shouldn't be concerned about, in your opinion?
I think they had concerns that were more based on the past. I think voice over IP in general had a lot of things to work out to get to the point it is now. I think it's certainly a mainstream product now, and I think cloud communication in general has to get over the barriers of security, just that whole mentality of if I can't touch it and feel it, how can I trust it? And you face that. I think though people are looking at now their payroll's done in the cloud by ADP. Salesforce.com is doing their CRM stuff. Their Rackspace is doing their server work. I mean, they're getting used to everything going to the cloud. And we actually just launched. I'm chairman of a group called the Cloud Communications Alliance.
Sure.
It's the top cloud communication companies in the country using BroadSoft as a platform.
I actually performed 2 interviews with other members of the Alliance last week.
Oh, great.
Or maybe 3.
Yeah, I was back in New York for the launcher for some of the days there, but it was great to go to the Cloud Computing Expo there and be able to say the cloud is not just for computing, but it's also for communications, and we see this quickly evolving to where that power of communications will also be harnessed at the cloud level.
So really, it sounds to me like the cloud is something that everyone should look at when they're deploying communications, based on what you're saying.
Yeah, I
right?
think our generations are quickly adapting to the cloud, but if we don't, the next generations will. And as I look at my kids, my daughter at 17 years old has never owned a CD.
Wow.
All of her music has come from iTunes, and they just are looking for all their content to come from, whether it be Facebook or iTunes, whatever. That's where content resides.
There's an Napster, right, and other services like that where it's
Absolutely.
all in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
You don't even download, you don't even touch an MP3 ever. It's all streamed.
Absolutely.
Or like Pandora or some of these, Slacker and some of these other ones.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it'll be strange to the next generations. Any devices they're using that they're having to buy and maintain will seem strange to them, and more and more content will be centralized at the cloud level.
Well, it sounds like an exciting new world, and thanks for helping us get ready for it.
Absolutely.
And thanks for
Thank you,
being
Rich.
on the program.
All right,
This is
a pleasure.
great.
Thank you.